Welcome to Sell Like a Woman. My name's Nikki Bonfanti. My company's Trusted Sales Dynamics, and my mission is to help as many women as possible who are fantastic at what they do become even more successful, and to find the confidence and the sales techniques that work for them, not the ones that they're told to do, but by other people, but the ones that work for them, to make them even more successful. So welcome, and I want to say a big thank you to you for sharing this next hour with me, whether you're here live with me or have registered for the recording. Spending an hour doing something like this with me is really appreciated because we're all busy people. We've got plenty of other things you could be doing. So in gratitude to that, I want to make sure that this is as valuable as possible. I'm going to give you as much information of the kind of things that I've been learning and processing and researching and observing and revealing to myself over this past year, as my business has moved a lot, and I've learned so much about myself and about other women over this last year. So I want to share as much as I can of that with you within the hour. It's going to be a challenge. And I also want to give you a free gift right at the end. This is an absolute bribe for you to stay with me till the end. I'll make sure it's interesting along the way, but if you stay with me till the end, there's a free gift to everyone to stick with me. And also, if when I get to the end or near the end, if there's more that you would like to know, then I'll share with you a way that you can find that out as well. That's how these webinars work, isn't it? Also, if you have any questions, please type them in. And if we've got time at the end, I will answer them. If we haven't got time at the end, I'll get back to you this afternoon with the answers to the questions. So please type them in if you've got any questions as we go along. Brilliant. So why have I called this Sell Like a Woman and not Sell Like a Girl? Well, there's three reasons. One is that most of my clients are over 35, so they wouldn't really relate to being called a girl. The second is sometimes doing something like a girl, you say, oh, you're doing it like a girl, you're throwing like a girl, is something that people don't aspire to. It's seen as being something silly and not very powerful. I hope that times are changing, and I'd love to be bold enough to reclaim that phrase and to use it here. And this is a great example of good selling. It's by Always, the sanitary protection company, have reclaimed Do It Like a Girl and have done a fantastic campaign around positive, strong images of girls doing sport, girls not letting anything stop them. So that's a great reclamation of it. And it's a great use of a company who sells products, using education, using social causes, using their social conscience to expand the awareness of their products, which I think is a great way to make sales, and is something we'll talk about a bit later. And the third reason that I didn't use Sell Like a Girl is that there's a brilliant article. I don't think there's a book about it, but there's a brilliant article by one of the saleswomen that I follow. Her name's Jill Conrath with a K, and I'll post the article in my Facebook group, Nikki's Trusted Sales Group, later today, because that's a brilliant article about how selling like a girl is exactly what you should be doing, and many of the similar points that we're going to cover today. And why not sell like a lady? Well, this might be personal to me, but I don't see myself as a lady. Lady to me seems all polished and pristine and perfect, and is probably cracking up behind closed doors. A lady is somebody who wears gloves so they don't have to be tainted by money or anything like that. And I really wanted to get away from that image of a salesperson, of a saleswoman, and talk about how selling is about real women who've got businesses, they've got emotional things to deal with, they've got all kinds of family issues and as well as work issues to deal with, and it's real. It's not all dressed up like that. And why not sell like a man? Well, I believe that the best salespeople, whether they be men or women, sell like women. And the best salesmen would probably agree with me, because selling in the olden days, and still a little bit of around today, sales has got a bad image because it's about lying or exaggeration or manipulating or putting out scarcity. There's only 3 left. You've got to run to the back of the room to get the bargain. You've got to sign up today while I'm on the phone with you, or you won't get the special deal. All of that stuff that pushes people into a corner for no reason other than the person getting the sale. It also gives the impression that selling puts money above caring for others. And I believe that they can both be hand in hand. And I'll be talking about that later as well. And the whole macho culture, the whole thing about selling being a numbers game, you got to get on the phone, you got to get out there and win the battle against your clients, all of that kind of stuff, that macho stuff, I hope is dying, because it doesn't work. It's not beneficial to either party in the long run. It might get short-term clients and short-term sales, but it doesn't get sales in the long run. And the big difference is focusing on the client, making the client the king or queen of the whole piece, and focusing on what their needs are. That's what the old traditional selling didn't do. It's all about what have you got in your bag. So this program is called Sell Like a Woman. This photo was taken from a recent conference that I ran with some of my academy members in it, who are real women, selling really well, getting great, doing a great service for their clients, and building their businesses. This is me, very briefly. I had a 15-year career in sales, starting in Italy when I went into selling books around Italy to English language schools and universities and colleges. And the thing that I did first of all, and that stood me in good stead for many years afterwards till today, is that I wasn't interested in how many I could sell. I was interested in what the customer needed. So when I first started, I didn't have any sales training. I went straight into the customer and asked loads of questions. What kind of books are you using now? What do you like? What you don't like? Where are the gaps? Because I saw myself as more of a consultant. I saw myself as someone who could feed information back to head office, who could give better service to the clients in the long run. It's all about the long run and not the short-termism of macho selling. It was all about how do I understand this client and what their needs are, and what do I have in my book bag that fits it. And sometimes I would say to clients, actually, this isn't the best product for you. I wouldn't recommend it, even if it was my own. Because I understood what their needs were. And because I told them things that I didn't recommend, even though they were published by my own company, they trusted me. And that trust was a huge, big thing for our relationships going forward. So instead of having to chase for the sales, they would ring me up and say, we're opening a new branch. Can you come in and tell us what's new, what you recommend for us? So I wouldn't have to chase them for an appointment. They would ring me. And the whole situation changed around. A lot of my colleagues were constantly trying to get appointments with people, and they would only see me because I was the one that they trusted. So following on from that, after my career, I gave all that up to stay at home with my little girl. And then 7 years ago, I set up my company, starting out from completing my MBA. I started doing management training courses, and then realized that what people really, really, really needed, especially in small businesses, was how to sell, and how to sell in a way that was comfortable and enjoyable to them. So that brings me up to date. And this is something I developed 3 years ago. It's taking a tool that I use, Talent Dynamics, which is based on the I Ching, which goes back thousands of years, which so many other personality profiling tools are based on. And I took that tool and I looked at how the sales cycle worked with different personalities. I'm not going to go into that now because I've moved on from that. It's still really valid, but there's something I want to share that's even stronger than that. And that is to focus on the 5 energies that the I Ching talked about. And there are 4 energies of people's different personalities, and there's a 5th energy that we all can tap into, and some people have it in real big doses, and others less so, and that's the spirit energy. So I'm just going to talk you through these different energies, because this is going to lead on to how I've seen the personality of women come out strongest, and how I've seen the different ways that women sell work with different personalities. So I won't have time to share all of this, but I just want to pick out the highlights of this, because this is really crucial to my research and how I see it, as I see people selling in a feminine way. So the green at the top is this dynamo creative energy that has the wood element, that natural resources, those being able to create opportunities out of nothing, being able to design creative materials and experiences for your clients, being able to take dares and challenges and risks and go out there and really find the right clients for you. So that prospecting energy, for some women, comes easily. For others, not so much. And one of the things I help women do is to find where their creativity is. It might be in creating blogs and videos and doing live streaming and creating great ideas for their clients to use. But it might be in actually perfecting their services and having great onboarding documents, so that clients feel comforted and safe when they come to the start their service. So they're all different ways of being creative, but the dynamo energy, if you've got strong dynamo energy, I know a lot of you have done the talent dynamics online, some of you may not have, but there's a lot of creativity in all of them. But in that first one, it's all about finding new opportunities, starting something new. The second energy is this red energy, the blaze energy, which comes from the fire element, obviously, and it's all about people. So these are what used to be called the natural salespeople, because they've got that easy rapport. They can talk to anybody, they can engage with anyone, they can make friends with anyone, they connect easily. They're good communicators. They can talk really well. And what I help a lot of women, there's a lot of women in this energy, because it just works out that a lot of feminine profiles come out in the blaze energy, that they can talk to so many people easily. And I help them to develop that listening skill. Some people are better at listening than others, but it's that listening skill that is so important in a salesperson. On any sales course, you might be taught how to give pitches, how to show off your expertise, but the real gift in a salesperson is the ability to listen and listen deep. This third energy is the tempo energy from the earth, being able to organize things, being able to prioritize things and get things done, really caring for the clients, giving a great service, that kind of thing. And there are a lot of women in that energy too. Now, this steel energy, I see less women in from my research, less women. So this is a bit more of a masculine energy, in the sense that it's about systems and processes and numbers and details. It's about leveraging up your sales and being able to get your boundaries in place. So I help a lot of women put those boundaries in place, because it's often the thing that's missing. They often give away too much, or don't know when to stop caring for others, or don't know when to say no, all of that kind of stuff. A good dollop of steel energy would help with that. So I help my clients with that. And then this spirit energy, this from the water element, the growth energy, it's all about manifestation. It's all about calling up the spirits, calling up to a higher source, really tapping into your intuition, which women have so much more than men. Their intuition, they're detectors of BS. They're detectors of things that aren't quite in alignment, so they don't really believe them. So that's the spirit energy. I'm going to talk about each of these within the context of feminine sales techniques, but I just wanted to introduce you and show you where they came from in context. So if we start with looking at how women show up in these 5 energies of the sales cycle, we'll start with this blaze one because so many of my clients are in this energy. So many women are in this energy, which is all about the people skills. And when I think of the blaze energy, the person that comes to mind the most is Susie Heath. Susie Heath is a really amazing coach. She goes so deep. She's unique in what she does. She really listens deeply. She finds out what people really, really need. She really taps into their emotional depth, things that we didn't know about ourselves, things that we have been hiding from ourselves. So she's a fantastic rapport builder. And the thing that I've learned most from Susie over the last year, 18 months, is how to love yourself, how to build rapport with yourself, first of all. And this is something that so many sales courses and programs don't cover. But until you've got that self-love, that self-confidence, that sales confidence, then nothing's going to happen. That's why I'm starting with this one here. That you will have been maybe signed up thousands of pounds to go on a program and it hasn't worked. Maybe it's because it's not right for your personality type, or maybe it's not right for you in the cycle of your business. I know a lot of people are pushed into writing books, for example, when they first started, and they really don't have as much to say as they would later on in their business. And maybe it's not right for you in yourself, and there's things for you to work on in that. And Susie's one of the best people to go to for that. So loving yourself and having sales confidence is a really basic thing for selling like a woman, is to really understand yourself, to know yourself, to feel comfortable with yourself, to have that confidence. And this is where some people need a lot of help because they've been knocked, they've had things happen to them in the past, they've had their confidence knocked, and so they need to really tap into what their strengths and talents are before they can start selling. So how can you do that? Well, the first thing is to really understand yourself and know yourself. And once you've done that, to focus on your clients. I've written a blog recently, get out of your head and into their hearts, meaning get away from all these gremlins and these monkey voices in your heads that are telling you, who do you think you are? Are you really worth it? Why would they listen to you? Why would they give you money? Get rid of all that stuff and focus on the client. Focus on what they really need. Because if you're talented, if you've got a great service or great products that you know can help people, by focusing on the client, you forget all of that rubbish stuff in your own head and just think about them. So make sure that you're really listening, you're taking notes, you're focusing on the client and asking questions rather than just talking about yourself or about your products or about your services. And tune into their energy, their pace. You can do that by really listening to what they're saying, by mirroring their body language, all of that kind of stuff. And things like if they say they need time to make a decision, then honor that. There's no point in hassling someone and making them make a decision when they're not ready for it. It might be your duty. It might be as a I've lost the word, as a person who's helping them, as a consultant, as a consultant, you might want to just probe and see if there's a fear factor there, to see if there's some reason that's stopping them doing what they really want to do. But if they've said, no, I need to make a decision, then honor that and give them time. There was a client I had recently who, I think it was after a webinar, she said she wanted to work with me, but she had a few things to sort out. She had to finish off a few other things. So we honored that. We made a date when I would call her back. And just as I was about to call her back and see, how are you feeling now? Have you made your decision? She emailed me to say, okay, today's the day, I'm in, send me the invoice. So by honoring people, trusting them that they are going to make the right decisions, you can really build that rapport and that trust, which is so important. A lot of people will say, including Stephen Covey Jr., who's written the great book, The Speed of Trust, he will say the first thing of any sales relationship is to build trust. Don't even mention the sale, first of all. Just build that relationship, build that trust, find out about people, see if you're a fit, and then start talking about the products or services. So really paying attention and listening. And you might want to build intimacy quickly by being a bit playful or cheeky. That depends on your personality. I particularly like that way. But just giving not rude comments, but compliments, and asking people about making them laugh, making them feel like they're comfortable, making them feel like you're treating them as a friend, not as a potential client, because that's how it starts. And the biggest compliment you can pay them is to listen. So many times we don't have the opportunity to really think our thoughts out loud, and a lot of blaze personality people actually do their thinking by speaking. They won't know what they think until they speak it. I'm like that. I have to tell my daughter or my husband or somebody, I have to tell somebody what I'm thinking so that I can think it through out loud. So by giving people the gift of listening, you can help them resolve their issues or just voice them out so that you can then help them with them. So one of my favorite quotes when it comes to selling, and I say it all the time, is that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So there's a lot of talk about being thought leaders, being experts, being able to talk about your topic and all of this kind of stuff. But if people don't know that you care about them, if you haven't listened to them, if you haven't asked questions, if you haven't given them something, then they won't care how much you know, because they'll think it's all about you and not about them. So that's the great thing, that rapport builders. And if you are a rapport builder, if you have that a lot of blaze energy, then you've got a real gift that you can give to others of listening and really focusing in on them and making them feel great. So we'll move along to the nurturer. Because the nurturer, this is me and my daughter a few years ago. I have to have a picture of my daughter in every webinar I do. The nurturer, this can come naturally to a lot of women, but it's something that they often resist because they get bored with it or they get overwhelmed with it. And this is the part of the sales cycle when you've either put an offer out there and you're waiting for people to make their minds up, and so you've got to keep in touch with them, you've got to send them things in between, you've got to give them invitations to other stuff, you've got to give them little freebies, all of that kind of stuff. And some people get bored with that. So there's loads of lovely systems that you can set up that can do that automatically for you, or making good use of a customer database. And there's a lot of talk about sales funnels around for the last couple of years. But I like to think of connection trees rather than sales funnels, because funnels is just like pouring a load of people, a quantity of stuff into a funnel. Whereas connection trees, you see people for who they're connected with and how they connect with you. So this is what I talk about in my new program, is the connection trees. And one of the key things that nurturers do is to continue that great service after the client has signed on the dotted line. So many people chase the client. As soon as they sign up, great, that's it, done. They'll send them something, that's it, move on to the next. But there's a huge opportunity there to keep them even more engaged and to stop them from having that buyer's remorse. I've heard a lot of people say that, oh yeah, I had a great call with a potential client. They said they were going to sign up, but they kept refusing my calls, or they didn't call back, or they didn't turn up to the first meeting. They've asked for their money back because they haven't had that security. They haven't had that welcome pack. They haven't had that first gift that will get them on the road to working with you. Sometimes when people sign up with me, they tweet about it, or they send messages out saying, my life's going to change, or my business is going to turn around. Now I've started working with Nikki, because they really believe it, because of everything that I've given them, I've told them, I've shared with them what's going to happen in the next steps. So they start really buying into the process and not getting that buyer's remorse. So a nurturer creates great experiences, and this is another natural talent that so many women have. And maybe it's because they use up all of that skill and experience in their families, they want something different in their business. But if they could bring a little bit of it into their business, then they would really create a great environment for their clients. Carrie Lindeen is on the screen now. She's been my coach for nearly a year now, my business coach, and she is such a great nurturer. She probably won't see her profile as that, but she really looks after her clients. She's helped me create an academy. She's helped me create a Facebook community, and these are all the kind of things that really suit my personality, because I can give so much within those environments because people have already bought into me. And often when you have a one-off sale with people, you have to be careful how much you give, when you start saying no, when do the boundaries set in. So by having communities that people have bought into, and then you can share as much as you like, is a really great way of releasing all of that generosity that you want to give, but still being rewarded for it. So she's helped me do that, and she's helped me put some systems in place so that you can care without being overwhelmed. She has things like loving your list, where you write an email to your list every week, and she has regular meetings with her academy members, of which I'm one, once a week. So this regularity, these routines and systems that you can put in place to stop yourself being overwhelmed, but you can still be your nurturing, caring self and still get value back and rewarded financially for it. So yeah, as I mentioned, the Facebook community, which is my Nikki's Trusted Sales Club, which is free to you all. If you're not a member, please come in. There's loads of stuff in there, loads of challenges, and an opportunity to showcase your own business every Friday. And every Tuesday, we have a Tuesday testimonial. And over the I've set the club up in May 2016, so just under a year. And over that year, people have been nominating people that they have met that have given great value, great service. And at the conference I held last month, these three won the awards for the most voted for trusted selling. Coincidentally, they're all in my academy. Coincidentally, I've been working with them all in one form or another for many years, but it was all down to public votes who won the prizes. So all of that kind of thing, you can really give back, and you can really make it a great community and reward others and have collaboration. That's another great thing about selling like a woman. You look for collaborations and win-wins, not who you can screw into the ground or who you can nail to the floor or all of those horrible expressions about getting a sale. It's all about where can you find win-wins? Where can you look at the big picture that you can all win by? So we'll move on to the steel energy, which I mentioned was a bit more of a masculine energy. And the person I think of when I think of boundaries and getting the right documents in place is Suzanne Dibble. She's created some great resources for templates, for contracts, for terms and conditions, all the stuff that so many business owners that I meet, particularly women business owners, don't have the patience for, don't have the awareness for. Suzanne's a lawyer, so she's able to create these things. But this whole area of boundaries is something that I find so many women business owners have issues with, because they want to give, they want to help others as much as possible, but it can be at their own detriment if you give everything away, if you sell your soul rather than selling with soul. If you give it all away, you haven't got the energy, or you haven't got the resources, or you haven't got the finances to keep going and to help other people. So this is a big piece of what I do with my clients, is to be really clear about your boundaries. Just little things like your opening hours, your holiday times, your terms and conditions. So it's really clear where work ends and family life or friend life or your life begins, and learning to say no more often. Often by saying no, you're actually doing other people a favor, because you're letting someone else step in. You're giving space to someone else who would really love that opportunity. So I truly believe that if there's something that you don't want to do, you speak up and you say no. That is enough. I'm not going to do it, because there will be somebody else that does this. And it's because that's so important. This is the module that I start with on my new program. And we put a lot of this kind of stuff into place and look at the issues that are causing you to blur your boundaries. One of the expressions that was used when I worked with talent dynamics was gold dust versus treasure chest. And this is another big thing that I work with my clients on, is what do you give away? Because giving away is a great way to get people on the path to working with you, and a great way of building that relationship, a great way of getting them to understand what it's like to work with you, getting a taster. So that's what the gold dust is. It's a little freebie, a little taster. And then the treasure chest is the stuff that's locked away and is only opened once they become a paying client. So there's lots of ways that we explore on how to do that, so that you're not giving it all away. Because often when you do give it all away, if you have a one-to-one, for example, with a client, and they're picking your brains and they're taking it all away and they're making notes, at the end of it, they'll say, okay, thanks, bye. They don't need to buy anything from you. You've given everything that they actually want right there and then. So why on earth should they continue to buy from you? They've got what they need right now. So the key is to show them what else you could give them, to give them something immediately now, but to show them what else is available to them once they work with you. So let's move on to this magical spirit energy. And when I think of the spirit energy and manifestations, I think of Kathy Ballard, who has some great programs out there. The Flow program, she's doing a creativity program at the moment. It's all about manifestation and meditation, and really tapping into your feminine intuition and tapping into your practical ways to manifest exactly what you want. So a lot of my clients, myself, and we've all kind of developed rituals and routines that help us to really focus in on what it is that we need. You've heard of dream boards. They've been around for a long time, and ways of manifesting through images or words or things on your office wall exactly what it is that you want. Keeping a journal is a great way to notice things that are happening that you can be grateful for, things that are happening that when you write about something that you really, really want, maybe the next day someone offers it to you. And also, I teach my clients how to set up their client lists and their client files and their program folders for their clients before they've even started. So they start to think, do I need 10 clients on this? Okay, let's prepare 10 folders ready, waiting to go. So tapping into that feminine intuition is a really powerful thing. One of my rituals is to use goddess cards, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen these or use them. And the ones I picked today, the past one was all about boundaries, which is something I've been working on. The present one is about blossoming, starting something new, which is useful for today. And the future is sorceress, conjuring up things for the future. So I think those cards bode well. Another person in this area is Carly Hope, which some of you might have heard of. And this is a great quote from her. It's about authentic sales. And that's what this manifestation is all about. And about that rapport building with yourself is all about. It's being aligned so that the way that you think, the way that you feel, the way that you act, and the way that other people perceive you is all in alignment. So many courses and programs out there in the macho style. I won't call them just by men, but in the macho style, because they're also women that do this. It's all about the way that you look, the external stuff, the marketing spiel that you put out there, how you come across. And it's like putting on a mask. What aligned feminine selling like a woman is all about is being real, is being honest and open. 10 minutes before I went live on this webinar, I had people pinging messages at me. My computer decided to reboot and reconfigure. The printer stopped working because I like to have my slides in front of me while I'm speaking. All of that went wrong, and I just laughed because I thought, okay, this is going to be big because all these things are conspiring against me, and it's going to happen anyway. So just trust the process. So back to this quote. Authentic sales allow us to be in our power and manifest the clients we're meant to serve. It helps our clients feel safe and take action, and it opens a space for everyone to receive. So when you're aligned, your clients really feel that. They really feel that you care about them, and it's not just a quick sale, that you really care about them, so that they feel safe enough to take action with you, and it opens up for everyone to receive. I think that's a brilliant quote. So the final one, how are we doing for time? The final one is the prospecting energy, this energy of being really creative and designing things and helping people to understand the clarity of your ideas. And the person I think of when I think of this energy is Joanna Martin, who has created, along with Susie Heath, the One of Many program that I've been part of for the last year and a half. And she not only does that to help women step into their own power, to become more confident, more in alignment and understanding what they do, but she's also doing it to raise money for that hunger project. And this whole thing about speaking up for your cause, speaking up for something that's bigger than you, is a really strong factor in selling like a woman. I know so many women who create amazing, amazing events and projects and raise thousands and thousands of pounds for charity. But when it comes to their own business, they can't apply the same tools or the same way of thinking. So I help them to do that. I help them to tap into that, because what we do for others, we do willingly and openly, with open hearts, with bravery, with courage. And when it comes to doing stuff for ourselves, that courage sometimes fails us because we think, well, it's only for me. It's not to help people with leukemia or people in Africa. It's only for me. But it has to work for you too, because you are important, you are unique. And if you don't do it, then somebody else is going to do it. And the services and the products that you have are so, so good that you don't want somebody else with a much more inferior product or service getting all the business. That often happens because they're putting themselves second all the time. So speaking up for your cause, and it goes back to that campaign I talked about right at the beginning with the Always campaign, Do It Like a Girl. They're raising money, they're raising awareness, they're raising money to help kids, girls get into sport, to overcome barriers. Brilliant film out at the moment that I've been talking about. It's Hidden Figures. These women in America who helped put the first American man on the moon, into space. Black American women that were just hidden away. And that film is so powerful at getting girls to think about science and astrophysics and astronauts. I've gone off on a bit of a tangent now, but it's all about doing things for a bigger cause than you. And if you can tap into that, that helps you to be selling like a woman. Prospecting, creating and designing programs and marketing. I know a lot of business women who would be happy just creating all day long and happy not to even talk to a client. And there are ways that you can build your business around that. But there is a time when you do have to sell to your clients. You do have to come out from behind the computer screen or the drawing board and actually face your clients. And there are different ways of doing that. And tapping into your talents and finding the best way to do that, whether it's through video or writing or public speaking or networking or whatever it might be, we find that right way for you through your personality and your talents. And using your creativity to create great experiences for people. I've created a VIP day around a spa, which takes them through the different energies. So we start in the jacuzzi, so we have the spirit energy, the water energy, and we talk about the big why possibilities, why they're here, what their objectives are, what they want to do on that day, and to really expand their awareness and tap into that spirit energy. And then we go outside into the woods where there's a hot tub outside. This place I go to, it's not my house, this place I go to, this hot tub outside, and we brainstorm all of the creative ideas. What could they do next? What have you done before? What works? What do people really want? Really brainstorming all of that. And then we go into the sauna right next to it and have that fire energy, that heat. And we talk about all the different people that help support them, their support network, their ideal clients, the people that they want to work with, the people around them, who they want to work for them. All of that kind of discussion. And then the client goes off for a massage or a facial and to tap into that kinesthetic tempo earth energy while I go up and write all the notes up. When I first started it, I went off for a massage too, but I've just stopped that now because I get so relaxed. I just don't care about the client anymore, and that's not good for business. So I go off and write the notes while they go off and have a massage, and then we end up having a lunch, and the follow-up is the list, the action list of things to do, the wheres and the whens, and how they're going to carry it out, which I follow up with the next day. So that's the kind of thing that you can create in your creative energy. And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, selling like a woman. You're thinking about, what can I do for this person? What can I do to make this experience really, really special? That's all like selling like a woman. So to summarize what selling like a woman is all about, it's tapping into your intuition. It's a longing for alignment and connection, and managing to find that and marrying that up with a desire to care for others, but also making a living at the same time, and to resolve problems using your own talents and experience, bringing your whole self to it. It's a holistic, aligned way of selling, and not just how many do we have to shift, because we've got them stuck in the warehouse kind of mentality. So would you like to know more? Because I've told as much as I can in this short amount of time, and there's a few more things I just want to share with you. So I'm putting together a 5-week online program which goes deep into each of these practical spiritual ideas for you to carry out in your own business. So there'll be how to improve your authentic sales, how to find alternatives to scarcity, tricks and manipulation, because that's what's still being used in a lot of places, and practical activities to try out in your own business each week. This 5-week program, it covers these 5 areas. It's setting boundaries so that you sell with soul and not your soul. And as I mentioned, I start with that one because it's all about the things that a lot of business women lack in their business, and the things that you need in place to make your sales. So learning when to say no, not giving away too much, being clear when work stops and everything else starts, that kind of thing. Manifesting the sales you want in alignment is the second one, and this is a really powerful one when we talk about the power of positive thought and action, how you manifest new clients, how you focus on exactly what you want and how you get it. That's a really cool module. The third one is prospecting using your talents. So this is the thing that a lot of business owners worry about, is where to get new clients from. So this is how to prospect in a feminine but powerful way that will bring in new clients, showcase your expertise and attract the right people in ways that aren't manipulative but honest and true. And we'll look then at connection trees rather than sales funnels to build up your network. Building rapport with yourself and your prospects is the fourth one. Now, this is probably the one that most people want, the one that most people feel comfortable with, the one that most people want to know. So I've sneakily put that later on in the course because there's things I want you to have in place before we really revel in that one. So this is often what women are best at, building rapport. But how do you use that to bring clients on? How do you use that relationship? Often when people build relationships, they're then scared to ask for the sale because they don't want to ruin the relationship. But you have to get out of your head, into their hearts, and think they need this service or this product from me. They need to know that this is going to be the best thing for them, and it's my duty to show them not just to tell them, but to show them how it will work for them. And this one, we also look at how to improve your self-love, your sales confidence, which underlies so much of sales success. And the final module is about building trust and nurturing your clients so that it doesn't end when your client signs on the dotted line, that you avoid buyer's remorse and have your clients anticipating and excited about working with you, and coming up with practical ways to continually nurture your clients so they keep coming back for more by tapping into your natural talents and not having to do stuff that you get bored or overwhelmed with, but using your natural talents. So the program, the basics are 5 recordings, 5 workbooks, and instant and everlasting access to the Facebook group. If you sign up now, you get access right now to that. It's called Nikki's Sell Like a Woman group. This is a closed group. This is different from my Nikki's Trusted Sales Club, which is open to everybody. This is just for people that want to really go deep and understand what selling like a woman is all about. So the reason for that is to create a community, but not to overwhelm you with loads of messages every day. There'll just be updates and news and introductions. And yes, it will be quite busy during the 5 weeks. And after the 5 weeks, I'll put in any updates or any interesting articles or things that I think would be relevant. But it's not going to be one of those groups that everyone's in every day. Now, I want to give you some bonuses. This is not the opposite of scarcity, which is one of the things I don't like, is abundance. And I want to be generous and I want to give as much as possible to make it easy for you to do this and to make it to get you prepared to do it as well. So if you come along, if you attend live on the Thursday lunchtimes, because this course will run on Thursday lunchtimes, from the 27th of April to the 25th of May. So it's not for a month. So you've got time to think about it, time to clear your diary on a Thursday, or clear time afterwards for the recording. But if you come along and take part in the live Q&As, then you get a chance to ask your questions and have them answered. Because after that, it's just going to be a recorded online program only. So there's only going to be one live version of this. And also, if you sign up before the 30th of March, you'll be doing me a big favor, because this will help me to know how many people are going to be on it, give me an idea of how many people are going to be on it. And I'll give you a bonus session, which I will run on the 30th of March, so that's only in a couple of weeks. How best to sell to women, and it doesn't mean making it in pink. Now, I did a preview of this talk yesterday and realized I could have talked for easily an hour, but I only had 10 minutes. So that is all ready to go. That's all prepared. And I'll run it on the 30th of March to give you a bit of time to work out whether you want to come on the program or not. So if you decide before the 30th of March, you get that, and we'll cover what do women really want and how to meet their core needs. That's a recording and a workbook and a live Q&A. So it'll work like the program itself, but it's like a bonus module, module 0, on Thursday, the 30th of March. And there's a third bonus, because this program is sponsored by my friend and colleague Louisa Pini of Just Be Natural, and she's helping me to give you all a gift of her de-stress pulse roll-on. Now, she makes all of these handmade with organic essential oils, a fabulous company. This is where I go for my monthly massage to Louisa, so she does services as well as her own products, and she will send out to you, I think next week she'll be ready to do it, from next week, a free de-stress roll-on to everyone that signs up as a result of listening to this webinar as a thank you. Whatever time you listen to this webinar or the recording, there's no deadline on that. It's just a thank you from us. This is a picture of Louisa receiving her Trusted Sales Award last month from me. So to claim your webinar bonuses, which is your 5-week program, it will be, oh yeah, I didn't mention the price, did I? How to Sell Like a Woman is only going to be £147 for all of you listening now. It will be $247 later on, but I want to make it as affordable as possible, and you'll be doing me a service by being there live, being on the Q&As, and being part of the launch, the pilot program, really. So I want to reward you for being first to step up. There'll be 5 recorded live modules, the workbooks that you'll get, access to the online group that I mentioned, access to the online Q&A sessions after the calls, this additional module that I mentioned, how to sell best to women, on the 30th of March, and the de-stress pulse roll-on from Just Be Natural. So all of that for 147. If you go to this page, trustedsalesdynamics.com/webinar-special. Webinar special. So I mentioned right at the beginning that I would bribe you to stay to the end. I hope I've delivered the content that you expected and that you wanted to hear, and that you've got some value from it. And in any case, my thank you gift is a 30-minute one-to-one with me to talk about your talents, your skills, and your issues in selling like a woman. This is open to you whether you want to do the course or not. It's not dependent on that at all, and it's not a sales pitch to get you to do it. I genuinely want to talk to as many women as possible about their issues in selling like a woman. This course, this program, the calls that I have with you, I'm writing a book at the moment. So this is all going to go into it. Obviously, it will be anonymous. I won't be mentioning people by names, but it's all interesting research for me, which is why it is a genuine offer, and I am interested to talk to you. So please feel free to book that. And it's available to anyone listening to this now or on the recording. And it's the same page. You'll find the details on how to book that. At the top of the page, there's a calendar link, so you can find a time that's mutually convenient under the trustedsalesdynamics.com webinar special. Now, these are some of the people that I've worked with in the past that have experienced my calls or my services. But I'm just going to open now to see if there are any questions, because we're practically at the end, and I just want to see if anyone's posted any questions. So let's see. Oh, great, I'm signing up. Fantastic. Oh gosh, what's really interesting is just how comfortable I am with all this feminine stuff. How wonderful to run a business in this space. That's lovely. Thank you. Thanks, Caroline. Oh, some people had problems. Oh dear, had problems with the hearing. Gosh, it's been a technical, challenging day, but I hope most of you had chance to hear it. Oh, thank you, a lovely webinar. Oh, my warmth and generosity is amazing. Thank you. I'm glad that's clear. That's lovely. That's brilliant. So I can't see any questions. I really hope the sound wasn't an issue for most people. I'll listen to the recording. It's happened before that I've had to re-record it before I send out the recording, so I'll check on that. But okay, what time are you planning the Q&As on Thursdays? Okay, so the calls will run from 1 to 2, and then the Q&As will be from 2 onwards after that. Starting, when did I say? Starting, it's all on this web page. It should be all on this web page. So the details will be there rather than me. Oh, you loved your talk yesterday and found this webinar really useful. Fantastic. Oh, good. The sound was perfect. Great. Everyone else heard. Oh, good. The sound was all fine. For once, the sound was fine. Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Nicola. She's feeling better. Thank you. Yeah. My daughter was ill yesterday, but she's better now. Brilliant. Good. Good. Fantastic. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your comments, and please join me in Nikki's Trusted Sales Club, which is free and open to everybody. And I hope to be working with some of you soon, and at least talking to some of you on the one-to-one calls. That would be fantastic. Thanks for now. Bye.